there's always a question of which month is the first month, because according to the Torah, this is the first month. Nissan is the first month. But then the question is, why is Rosh Hashanah considered the new year? So anybody want to take a crack at that before I give you the answer? Why is Nissan considered the first month, but yet Rosh Hashanah is considered the new year? Stephanie?
Well, I think what I had learned was that one is the start of when we were given our own, like we started to count for ourselves to make a calendar.
Okay.
And then one is like the birth
of the world. Exactly. So part of that is right. The part that the world was created, there's a spiritual creation and then the physical manifestation. So according to Kabbalah, we learn that Nissan was the beginning of the spiritual dimension of reality, and then the actual physical manifestation started in Elul. Like the end of the Elul was like the 25th day of Elul was the first day of creation, and then on Aleph Tishrei was when man was created, and that's what we learned from Kabbalah. So this month is the first month. So first always represents like the greatest energy, the beginning. So this month, what we're tapping into is newness. It's a time of renewal. The month of Nisan is also called Chag Aviv. Pesach is considered the holiday of the Aviv. Aviv means spring. And it's a time when we feel the energy. I feel it now already. You know, like the sun is out longer. You see like more flowers budding. There's like a renewed energy in ourselves and in nature that we're supposed to connect with. And there's a few clues to that. There's a few clues to that. The whole sense of like renewal and opportunities to connect to new energy. This month is specifically related to. It's related to. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to take you guys with this. It's related to. Like the Hebrew letters are basically the world was created through speech. We know that you know, in Genesis when we talk about the creation of the world, it says that God spoke and then everything was created. So this month is actually all about the power of speech. According to the Sefer Yetzirah, the letter that rules this month is the letter Hey. And Hey, when we pronounce the letter Hey, it sounds like a breath, right? It's like a vowel almost. It's our breath that we extend, and it's the beginning of speech. That like everything that we, our expression or our ability to speak is what differentiates us from everything else in creation. The way that we're able to express our insights and our emotions and our intellect through our speech is what defines us as human beings. And on this month, we have special energy to do that. So, what do we do in the month of Nisan? What is the holiday that we celebrate? Passover. And Passover in Hebrew is called Pesach. And according to the Ari, Pesach is really a clue to what the energy of this month is about. If you were to take Pesach and you were to split it into two words, well, what would be the two words that would come out of that? You can say it out loud, Stephanie.
Oh, I don't know. I mean the syllables.
Yeah.
Pesach.
Pesach, which means what?
I don't know. Pei is mouth.
Pei is mouth, and Sach means, anybody want to, what does Sach mean? Sach, Sicha, any Israelis here? Mark? Pesach means a mouth. Pei means a mouth. Sach is from Sicha. Sicha means a discussion or a speech. So Pesach means a mouth that speaks. And that makes total sense, because if the world was created through speech, and this is the beginning of creation, and it's a time of newness, then everything is through the power of speech. So this month, what do? We tell the story of the Haggadah, and we pass over the story of our tradition of the redemption from Egypt and from our slavery. And what we learn more specifically is that, speech is power, speech is creation, speech is newness. And how do we correct that? How do we fix speech? What is correct speech, and what would be negative speech? So I want to hear some examples of what you think would be correct speech.
What you're doing.
Okay, so like sharing Torah is one kind of correct speech. What else would be an example of speaking correctly?
No Lashon Hara.
No Lashon Hara. Right. So Lashon Hara is the negative version, negative speech.
Right.
So what would be examples of positive speaking?
To make people see the goodness and enjoy in life.
To encourage people.
To encourage
inspire
people,
them.
yeah, to inspire them to have a positive effect. And let their speech have a positive effect in the world. I mean, it's very easy to put somebody down. It's actually not that easy to make them genuinely feel good.
Exactly. So speech is really powerful because it affects how we feel about ourselves and about the world, and it's a representation of our thoughts and our soul. What would be other examples of positive speech?
But speech also makes the other person feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's affecting another person. So what would be other examples of positive speech? Like throughout your day, when are like experiences that you have, like when someone talks to you, that you experience it as a positive expression or a negative? What would be examples of positive speech?
When someone's polite or courteous to you, it's like, I guess, provides like positive criticism.
Yeah.
So.
Saying thank you.
Yeah.
Humor.
Humor. Yeah, that's good. Right.
Maybe the volume of the way they speak to you. If somebody yells at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think of mommies when I think of speech, because mommies are really good at the way that they speak. The whole day they're with their children, and they have to be very careful with what they say, because if they make promises, then the kids would get upset, like you said you would do it, and then you didn't do it, but it's also part of educating your child is knowing how to bring out the best in them. So just to bring together everything people said. So speech in a positive way is used to encourage people, to inspire them, to make them feel good, to educate, to create a connection to Hashem through Torah and through mitzvot. Nobody said speech is used for prayer. Exactly. Speech is a huge tool for prayer, and actually. You also didn't mention that it's a way of expressing affection, that you can really connect to another person through speech. Like you can really show somebody that you love them through the way that you speak to them. So what?
Also just the tone.
The tone, yeah. So maybe it's because I'm a woman that I always have the female angle of things, but they say that the reason why we merited to be redeemed from Egypt, from slavery, was because of women, and this is in the Talmud, and then also in the future we will be redeemed because of the merit of women. And I always think about women, and the Talmud also says, it says that there are 10 measures of speech, and women have 9 of them. So what does that mean? Women have 9 measures of speech. It means that talking is their that's their thing. Their forte. Huh?
What's the 10th one?
I don't know, but men get 1. They get the 1 out of 10. They get 1, and women get 9. I don't really think that they're referring to specific. I don't know if they're referring to specific levels. I think they're just trying to make a point that women rule speech. They talk and talk and talk and talk, and it's about what do they do? What do they do with that? So hi, how are you? There's the place right there. So, Corey, you came in perfect time. We were just talking about the power of speech in women. be careful with the camera. It took a while to set it up. It was the whole mission. So women talk and talk and talk and talk, right? That's what they do. So what is the negative side of that? That they're like idle chat. You know, there's a thing in the Talmud that says stay away from a woman because all she does is talk bad.
There's also a thing in Pirkei Avos that you shouldn't talk too much to
men shouldn't talk too much to women because it's perceived that women speak like idle speak or idle chatter or they speak gossip the whole day, and I'm guilty. Like I definitely think that's like one of my biggest tikkuns is like, you know, like really, you know, keeping myself from speaking badly. I actually joined a Lashon Hara group. There's a whole group of us. There's like everyone gets an hour in the day. There's like 24 hours. And each person gets an hour assigned to them that they're supposed to commit to just not speak Lashon Hara during that hour. Just for that hour. I mean, ideally it's like you're getting your Lashon Hara muscle like exercise for that. You don't speak Lashon Hara the whole day, but when you know that you have like a specific time, then you're like. But it's so funny because I always get like the 1 to 2 in the mornings.
That's the hardest one. That's when you're on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, how do they know that that's the time that I'm usually on the phone?
1 to 2 a.m.
Oh, well, listen, if you have friends, like, in other places. So that would be the negative thing, right? It would be like Lashon Hara. I could see how they could say that women have this power of, like, Lashon Hara. But what's the power of women? Like Stephanie said, is the power of their prayer. That's really the essence of women, is the power of their prayer. And their power to inspire emunah in people. Like women connect to Hashem in a more intuitive way, and for them to use their speech to help people connect to Hashem. So that would be a positive thing. And so that's the main reason why the Jews merited to come out of Egypt, because they reached like the 49th level of impurity, and through the merit of the prayers of the women, they were able to get it. I mean, that's one of the reasons. It's not the only reason. So that was one of the important things I wanted to talk about: the power of prayer and speech. Give me a second. There was something else I wanted to share with you about women. Okay. They say that this is from the Gemara, Masechet Sanhedrin 103a. It says there are 4 groups of people who were shunned from Hashem's countenance, meaning like Hashem turns his back on 4 types of people: those who lie, those who ridicule words of ethics, those who flatter evil, and those who gossip and slander. So it's seen as like a really important thing to like protect the way that we speak. Okay. So I would like to go around the room. What?
Gossip line was
it was here. Those who lie, those who ridicule, words of ethics and morality, like those people those who flatter evil, and those who gossip and slander. Rambam teaches us that Maimonides teaches us that there's 5 levels of speech. The first level is virtuous speech, which is mitzvah, like speaking for the sake of a mitzvah, where you're like learning Torah or prayers. Forbidden speech, which is speech we should stay away from, nizhar, is lashon hara, gossip, lies. Loathsome speech, which is like really repulsive speech that we completely should stay away from, is any type of idle conversations that have like no purpose, they're not constructive. The most desirable speech it's called ahuv, meaning loved, is discussions on how to improve yourself and others. So, I want to do an exercise in that. And then permissible speech, which is mutar, which is the speech that we have for necessary for like day-to-day for business. It's like you can't help it but talk for that purpose. So what I wanted to do, just to break it up a bit before we continue on to another theme in the class, is I wanted to do a little exercise where we split up into 2 groups, and you guys could share what is one example of positive speech in your life that you want to strengthen? Like, what is a way of speaking that you would like to develop in yourself? And what is a way of speaking that you really want to work on to minimize?